What up, what up? My name is Ronnie Ferreira, and I am the captain of Comment Me Bro, the first ever champions of MSS Reindeer Games. You're watching Let Freedom Ring with Dan Bollier, the #1 podcast in Southern New Hampshire. Enjoy!
And welcome to Ring In Free Thoughts special Tuesday night edition. We've never done a Tuesday night show. We've done a Thursday. We've never done a Tuesday.
It's true. Yep. This is the See You Next Tuesday edition of Ring In Free Thoughts with Dan and Scott. And that's all on me. I apologize. That's my bad.
We couldn't film Friday. I'm assuming you were at the Janet Jackson concert, which I wish I was at on Friday. I'm assuming that's where you were.
I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. Unfortunately, I missed Janet. Yeah, no, we had D&D. Said it before, when you got 5 adult guys trying to schedule time to play a game in person and everybody gets locked into a Friday night, you got to just bite the bullet and stick with it, my man. I apologize.
Is this like a big tournament, or like you guys are just getting together? Like what's going on here? What's the stake? Is there stakes here? To cancel
world,
and bring in Free Thoughts, and you weren't at Janet.
It's not a tournament. I mean, you have
I don't know how this works.
You have no real quick crib notes on it. One person is called the Dungeon Master or the Game Master, and they essentially create this world and this storyline, right? Remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books from when we were kids?
And I'm not. I like wrestling, so there's nothing I can really say.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's my
our quirks. Yeah, it's like a Choose Your Own Adventure book, but it's a game in a world. You create a character that you play. You could be a wizard, you could be a knight, a barbarian, that sort of stuff. And everything you do or everything you attempt to do, whether it's attacking a monster or trying to steal something, you roll a dice for it, and if the dice is high enough, you do it successfully, or you fail, that sort of stuff. So it's just an ongoing story.
Choose your own adventure.
Adventure. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's why you missed the show, to do a Choose Your Own Adventure adult version.
Exactly.
But this is not Magic the Gathering, which I constantly get those confused. They're not the same thing.
No, it is. They're similar, and there are, I'm sure, millions of people that play both, but I myself am not a Magic the Gathering player.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, my bad on Friday, my dude. How are you doing though? How was your Friday without the show?
What did I went to my softball game, and we ordered pizza after softball in that league, in the Londonderry Men's League.
Dang.
And then I don't know. I think I came home and watched WWE biographies.
No, you missed SmackDown. Sure. No SmackDown.
I usually am not home in time to catch. I caught like the end with the Paul Heyman thing, where he got attacked by the Bloodline. But
he got smoked, huh? Good for him.
I think I watched the biography. Nothing major. I just hang out with Wyndham here, and we hold it down. But I gotta ask this: famous 15s here.
This is the 15th show, right?
This is the 15th show. We always talk about famous 15s. Let me get this headline out of here so you can actually see the number. The only one I can really think of off the top of my head is Tim Tebow is one, but Dustin Pedroia. The Destroyer. That's a famous 15.
You're stealing all my thunder, because the #1 automatic is Tim Tebow for me. So that was going to be mine. But then, like, all day long I was thinking, I kept picturing a white Red Sox 15 jersey, and all that. I was like, who the hell is it? Because I know I saw 15. I thought it was Beckett. I thought it was Josh Beckett for a while. Then I pulled him up. He was 19. But yeah, it was Petey. Yep. And then Patrick Mahomes as well, for a current player.
Milt Schmidt coming in from Mrs. McVicker.
Who in the world is Milt Schmidt? Is that a Bruins player?
I hope I don't. If it's hockey, I have no idea. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be no more than that. I know 99's Gretzky. We all know that. So when we get to
Yep.
99,
No.
in 5 years from
Spoiler
now,
alert. Yep.
you
Spoiler
know,
alert. Yep.
we'll have Gretzky. But yeah, Pedroia and Tebow are the only ones that come to mind. If anybody
Yep.
else another one, put it in the comments. I can't think of another famous 15 here.
And we will say it multiple times throughout the show to comment and get on live. You got to hop on the Let Freedom Ring
Yes.
Facebook page. Comment there. Don't
Let
comment
Freedom
on
Ring
my
Facebook
page, Dan's,
YouTube channel. On the personal, I'm never gonna see it. It's
what he's doing on a Wednesday, on an early Wednesday morning. There it is.
Bruins retired.
Oh,
Okay.
should have
And
probably.
I it's not that I care that the Bruins win or lose. I've never been to a Bruins game. I've never had the
one.
I've been offered tickets and I was like, no, I'm good.
I've never been to a Celtics game. I've been to one, maybe two Bruins games, but I've never been to a Celtics game.
I was on a tear. I'd go to a Celtics game a year. I mean, I haven't been to Fenway since 2021. Patriots, I try to always make an appearance at least once a year, sometimes multiple. Free Jack usually make like 5 or 6.
I feel like the last time I went to Fenway, Trot Nixon was on the team, so it could have been quite a while. He was number 7, I believe. Christopher Trot.
Hot to Trot. Always had the dirtiest hat in the league.
So dirty, so filthy. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I really have for famous 15s. Again, if you have any, Megan hit us with one. Apparently, it's retired by the Bruins. I've probably seen that at the Garden.
Is Patrick Mahomes going to go down as the greatest 15 of all time at some point?
Is Patrick? That's his number.
That's his number. Yep, Patrick Mahomes is. Yep,
oh,
yep.
I
mean, it's got to be.
I
right?
guess I never even thought about what. I just never even thought about his number. Nothing against Patty Mahomes. I'm just never even thought about
kind
it.
Of crumb bummy. His brother.
Kind of a crumb bum, but I gave him a pass. He got mad about some calls.
Did we put his brother?
His brother. What's his name? Alex or Jameson or
I don't know.
Something. I
believe we put him on the Mount Rushmore of crumb bums. Did we not?
I think we did. He's up there.
I think he's up there. I think he's up there.
Yeah, I mean, you know the thing about
Jackson Mahomes. I think it's
Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah. Yep.
We don't know the rest of the families in the league. The Kelsey's mother goes to the games, and why is Jackson Mahomes even? Why do we even know who he is? He just wanted the spotlight, riding his brother's coattails, and then doing, basically
crummy
assaulting
things.
Women.
Straight crumb bumming.
He's definitely on the Mount Rushmore, but we got to get into this. And these are some topics from a couple days ago, but the presidential debate, and I don't want, I know we've had people across the pond, right? We had a diehard Trump supporter from England jump in here. We're not picking a side, because I think picking a side on this is stupid. This is dumb.
It's rocking a hard place.
What are we doing?
Yeah. I didn't watch it live. I mean, I've obviously seen the clips, but oh God, what a disaster. Like this is the world that we're living in right now, where you got one guy that just doesn't even know if he's on, like one of them doesn't know where he is. The other one's just obviously Trump. And I will say, I mean, Trump can still at least form a sentence and form a complete thought. I'll give him that, but
this is grumpier old men, like the
right. Yep.
Like this is the third part. Jack Lemmon and
Walter Matthau, I believe.
Walter Matthau, they're deceased. Yep. Now it's Biden and Trump. They are I mean, the fact that they're arguing in a presidential debate about golf and who's a better golfer is embarrassing.
Brutal.
That's embarrassing.
Brutal. I know.
And
I will say, I saw some funny internet video the other day where it was like, it was it had the clips of them talking about golf, and then it went into different. Yeah, no, absolutely, it's funny. But then it went into different clips of Trump golfing and Biden golfing and that sort of stuff, and it was like a movie trailer, like one 18 round of golf to who's gonna rule the world sort of thing. And it was funny. That's what we should do at this point, is just put them on a golf course and see what happens.
I bet they're both not as good as their. Not that that's even like relevant to anything.
Oh,
But I mean, if that's literally the takeaway from the debate, this is where we're at. Like,
right.
it's wild that we can't find anybody in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s. We literally have Biden and Trump again.
Yeah.
And I guess Trump has immunity from whatever happened in that case.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just like this is like
It's fictional. It's just a weird fictional
it's
world that we're living in right now. Like who
it's
who
it's
saw this
it's
coming?
it's wild to me that people are still on either like ride or die on either side.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah.
wild to me. I don't see it as much. Like I
Yeah.
used to see so much politics on my feed. I think that most
Mhm.
people are like, "This is dumb. We're
Yeah.
done with it."
Been doing it for what year is it now? 2014. Been doing it for 8 years straight almost.
2024, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say? 2018? Yeah, I'm
20,
way
I think,
off.
yeah. Um,
Woof.
and here's the thing: like, if Biden wins re-election, right, his advisors are pretty much going to be doing everything. If Trump
They
gets
are.
elected,
No.
they'll try to, and he's going to do what he wants. I think to some extent he listens, but it always comes off he doesn't.
Yeah.
I just don't think that either are really good for the country, or
Well, I
it's
mean, that's
kind
the
of
thing. I mean,
comical.
like, obviously, I'm not a big politics guy. I don't really know how it works in Washington, D.C. and all that. But, like, I don't know. The president doesn't really have the full control over everything. He's got,
It's not a king. It's not a
yeah,
king.
exactly. That's good. That's a good call. Yeah. So, I mean, either one of them have, I would think even Trump has people around him that are savvy in politics and all that sort of stuff to actually steer him in the right direction. But I think it's
I think this is comical, but at the end of the day, like whichever one wins, we're probably going to be fine anyways.
it's and that's always been my thing is like at the end of the day, after that 4 year, like, is it just the same? Are we getting the same end game and result no matter who's in office? It's
Yeah,
just,
it's
I
the
don't know.
structure. The structure of the country just keeps going, no
Hmm.
matter who is. And obviously, we're a capitalist society. We have people at the top. We have people in the middle. We have people at the bottom. We have people at the very bottom. We have crazy rich people.
Yeah,
Neither one though is like gonna do anything that's gonna be drastic. I
right.
mean,
Yeah,
honestly.
crazy times. Crazy times.
Whoever gets elected, it's not either one of them making this. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
kind of crumb bum of the unit of
Mhm.
the
Third for the number
of
3
the
week. He's been up
decade.
there twice already, I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That's Kendall giving a shout out. Yeah. So the debate was very comical.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch any of that stuff. I'm not going to pay too much attention
Hmm.
because this is like not like I remember growing up, I don't remember anything being this like ridiculous. And it just might just be where we're at, like the evolution of social media and all this other
Hmm.
stuff where it's like, what are we supposed to be taking serious? Like I swear, if there was something coming towards the planet to destroy it, someone would make a meme laughing about it.
Mm.
Have you seen
Elon, I
that?
feel like Elon would take care of that thing, whatever it is, though.
I'm just saying, if the planet was about to blow up,
Yep,
everybody would be joking about it.
of course it would.
And
Yeah.
this is just kind of
Yep.
where we're at. And
Hmm.
honestly,
Hmm.
like I would tell people out there, like it's not worth. These two are not worth. I don't think anything is, but getting all divisive and arguing with each other.
Right.
Because honestly, you just look like an idiot because both of these are. This is just. This is just like,
And I will say, I
what
didn't
are we
watch the
doing?
whole debate. I didn't watch the whole debate.
Yeah.
I saw the humorous clips online. So there may have been coherent debate topics and actual politics going on there, but I
But
certainly
here's the thing: what was the point of the debate? We both know what they are. We know they've both been president.
yeah, it's just
There's
something
no
they got to do, right? Yeah.
there's no issue they could debate that we don't know where they stand on.
Did you see that RFK Jr. there? He put out like his own debate
Sure.
online, like
I
after it
mean,
or something. I don't know anything
I,
about that guy,
I
but
haven't paid enough attention to that.
yeah, yeah,
But honestly, this debate was for ratings.
sure.
Can we get them on the networks? They're just like people will
It's
watch.
just a formality too. I mean, you have to do that, I think.
I mean, there's been times where they haven't agreed on it,
Oh,
but
really? Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that makes whoever doesn't agree to it look bad, look
But
weak,
there's
whatever it may be.
nothing we don't know about
Agreed.
either
Yeah.
one
Right.
at this
Yeah.
like there's nothing we don't know. I could not watch that debate. I could tell you the take by both of them.
Right.
And we've seen
That's
Biden over the last 4 years. He's been like this the whole time.
right. I mean, that's a great point. Is it going to swing anybody one way or another? Like, I feel like in our day and age, you know where you
Trump,
stand at this point.
I would love to see it. Love to see.
I feel like Trump would smoke him on the golf course. I mean,
he's in better shape. He's in better shape. You got to give it to Trump. He doesn't. I mean, he drinks the Diet Coke, but he's never been a drinker.
I'm sure
He's
he's got stuff
I
going up
don't
there.
think so. I'll give him one thing. His brother died of alcoholism.
Okay.
So I think he kind of stayed away from that stuff.
Maybe.
So he's definitely his sharper.
Yeah.
But I also think with him is that his personality as he's gotten older, like all the character flaws that he has, like as he's gotten older, they just got worse.
Yeah.
He's like Donald Trump was in the 80s on steroids now.
Juice.
Like he's like
Juice
the
Trump.
he's the super shredder Trump at this point. Doesn't care what he says.
Kevin Nash.
Yes, Kevin Nash was the super shredder.
He was the super shredder. Good call. Great.
Anyways, good luck in November. I would just tell everybody like this is not worth arguing with each other about. This is not worth any like social media battles. This is dumb.
Yep.
And
it is what it is. Yep.
But Hawk Tua, who as I like to call her, is sweeping the nation, and this is everywhere. There's softball jerseys. There's everywhere you look. The clip. I forget what her real name is. If someone has that, she is. It sounds like because people were saying, "Oh, she got fired from her job as a preschool teacher." She's a 21-year-old bartender.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was gonna say they finally found her, and she actually had like an interview, like a sit down, where she was given some actual personal details the other day. Did you see that?
I did.
Set the story straight.
Yeah, she's a kid now. She's trying to use her 15 minutes, and it's
good
just
for her.
I don't.
Because you know what? I'm debating. I might write in Hawk to a girl. Come.
But she's not
come
old
vote time.
She's years away.
Technicalities.
She's only 21. It's fascinating how things go viral because I honestly think. So for the first 2 weeks of this, I had no idea what anybody was talking about.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I literally had no idea what people were talking about. There was there was all types of memes, gifs, and I'm just sitting there going, "I'll figure out what this is eventually
someday." Yeah.
And then when I saw the clip, I was like, "Wow, she really said that."
She certainly did, and it took the world by storm. Like there was a time for 8, 9, 10 days there where that was all you saw. I don't know if you got group texts or anything, but one of my fantasy football group texts, we were sharing Hawk to a girl memes and videos back and forth 24/7 for about 5 days straight. We were
and again, this is so we're sitting here going, this debate is so like dumb, right? But this is like where we're at as like a culture right now. Like where we got this debate happening about golf while the internet's obsession is this girl who said you got to Hawk Tua and spit on that, and that's like what everybody is excited about.
Yep. She just brought the world together for a short period of time, and I love it.
He's eligible now. Yeah, he's well old enough.
Yes.
I mean, I honestly say to this young woman, good for you. Mm-hmm. I really hope that you get some fame out of this.
Yeah,
I don't know if she
make your money. Yeah, I mean, if she, no, I don't think so. Like that interview that I was talking about, like it was she was LFG baby. Let's go. It was like her in real life. She wasn't as fun and out there as she was in the interview on the street. Obviously, she had been out partying with her friends or whatever, so you're gonna get a little loosey goosey. So charismatic though. She was just fun. She was just having a good time for that minute and a half she was on screen.
That southern accent and everything, like there could be something there. And she said in that interview, she goes, I didn't really expect I'd ever see this again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, anybody can get famous nowadays. Like
Well, let's just put it this way: no one's talking about who interviewed her.
Right.
So they
Ooh,
must have
okay.
got a lot of hits, but like, who was the guy with like who? I'm telling you, some of the stuff on
Couldn't
the
tell ya.
internet, like, and I
Yeah.
know like we've evolved. Like we're doing a stream right now that's live, but like these people putting microphones in people's face, which is okay. Like if you get people to agree, but then you
Sure.
have
Right. Yeah.
then you have these pranksters, and every time one of them gets punched in the face,
Oh,
I
I
go,
love
"Let's
it.
go!"
I love it. That
You know?
what's that kid's name? Jack Doherty, I think it might be. Do you know who that kid
No,
is?
I'm not sure.
Can't stand that kid. If that's the right name. But yeah, those stupid pranksters. I love it when they get lit up. Like there's this one where they're in like a mall, going up an escalator, and one, the pranksters on one side, and they'll sort of like caress like a girl as she walks by, and
Yeah,
then
I've seen
the
that.
boyfriend just puts him up against a wall, and you
Well,
got to comment, dude. Like, what are you
there
doing?
was some kind of weightlifter or something that's mildly famous, and they took his hat. I saw
Yes,
this video, and
smashed him.
I remember as a kid, I hated that,
Yep.
and as an adult, I would hate that even more. I'm a hat guy, I always have been.
Mm-hmm,
When
mm-hmm,
when I saw that video and he smacked him, I was like,
mm-hmm.
"Bravo!"
Real quick
Smack him again,
sidebar: we've got somebody putting a lot of comments on Dan Bolio's
guys. You gotta
personal
comment on the
Facebook page.
Let Freedom Ring
Gotta go
page.
to the Let Freedom Ring
I
page,
have been
baby.
saying this for 4 years. 4
Find it,
years,
click it.
or maybe 3 years I've
Comments
been doing
there.
StreamYard. I
Dan will
can't
see
see
it
them on the
immediately
personal
and pop
page.
it open.
And
Yep,
guess what? I'm not apologizing this time.
it's
If
true.
you haven't figured this out,
The
if you
cord is
watch
cut.
this and you haven't figured it out, there's nothing I can do. Just comment on the Let Freedom Ring page and I'll put your comment up. That's
Hmm.
that's all there is to it.
Yeah, get on our live,
Um,
baby. Yeah,
sorry.
good for her. I hope she does something good with this fame, makes a couple of bucks.
There was the disclaimer, yes.
Exactly. There was a
I don't know what
subtitle.
else to say.
What are we doing?
Every week, like I say, like you gotta comment on that page.
Let freedom
Because
ring,
like, we
baby.
love the comments, but I
True.
can't see them while the show's live on my
Yeah.
personal page.
Yep.
Um,
Which is
yeah,
crazy that so many people in this world are talking about this one kid for a week and a half, 2 weeks. I feel like she's dying down a little bit now.
yeah.
Um,
She met Shaq.
obviously that's gonna
She
happen.
met Shaq.
Saw that, and she got on some country stage with some country singer. I don't know who he is or whatever, but
No, Zach. I think Zach Brown. I think Zach Brown.
I don't know.
You
They're all
don't
the
know
same
who
to me.
Zach Brown is?
The Zach
You
Brown
don't know
band.
his
I feel like I've heard that before, but
Chicken Fried, Homegrown.
nah, dude.
Yeah, I've
I'm
seen Zach Brown. It's
country music is my least favorite type of music. I would listen
yeah,
to anything
but
before
Zach
country.
Brown kind of transcends just the country. I mean, they're not like Taylor Swift transcends, but I feel like most people know who Zach Brown is, or at least heard of
I've
him.
heard the name. I've heard of the Zach Brown band, but if you put him up on a lineup with him and I don't know, some other country names, Luke something or other, or this, and I couldn't.
Combs, Luke Bryant.
Maybe I couldn't tell you who was who. Sorry,
Well,
not my
it's
thing.
pretty. I mean, I will say that Zach Brown probably has lost a little bit of popularity over the
I
last.
know the Dixie Chicks. I could point the Dixie
I
Chicks
will
out
also
in
say Zach
the
Brown
crowd.
crossed over with one Dave Grohl.
Rihanna. Okay.
Dave Grohl
Okay.
respects
Sure.
Zach Brown, man.
Oh, there we
So
go. And I respect Dave Grohl.
so many Lukes.
Yep.
Yep.
Skywalker. Comes out.
So Hawk Tuah girl, we wish you the
Good for you.
best.
Yeah.
Imagine if she Hawk Tuah on Shaq, that she would have punched.
This is a family-friendly show. We will say
What
that.
what if she spit on Shaq as a prank and then tried to mix the fame with the how would Shaq? I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Who did I see? I saw a wrestler. I wasn't watching live, but I saw it online. Somebody did Hawk Tua before they tried to like pin somebody or
Well, the
something
Iron Sheik
recently.
used to say that all the time.
Definitely
The
wasn't the
Iron
Iron
Sheik.
Sheik. It was somebody modern in the last couple of weeks. Um, love Liv Morgan doing it on the belt there.
Well, we're not saying like exactly why she said
She's a
it.
cultural phenomenon right now. We have
She is a
to. She's
cultural.
the headliner right
Also,
there.
it was me commenting on your page.
Vince Carter's a good one.
15.
Yes.
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 Okay. It was Kevin comment. That's
It
fine.
was.
Kevin's not a regular viewer, but I'll tell you, there's people that watch every week and comment on that page. And I seriously am like, I don't know how many times I can say it.
Someday we'll get it. We need like something like blinking up top at all
It
times or
should be
something.
on the comment. It should be saying that today.
Yeah.
So appreciate you,
Yeah.
Kevin, for making the jump,
Vince Carter, good call too.
getting it in, because the fact that we left Vince Carter off is kind of criminal. Kind of criminal.
He's like a top 5 Vince of all time, right?
Oh, bar none. Bar none. Also said pipes for president. Yes, I am.
Are you old enough? How old do you have to be?
I'm 39. I'm well of age. I've been old enough.
I don't know what the
years.
minimum is for presidency. Couldn't tell you.
Megan,
36?
talk to your husband here. 30,
Oh,
35.
I don't know
35.
if Megan would know, but maybe.
I think she knew that.
She's very smart. She's very
I
smart.
would say she knows it. But yes, it is 35
Hmm.
to be old enough to be president. I guess I knew that stuff as a social science.
That's right. Yeah, good for you. I'm just
While you were doing communications, I was learning about the world.
I was learning about different types of TV shows, and here I am. So
I kind of envy that.
it was. I don't, because I'm still paying my student loans for
Yeah,
an education that I am not using. So
well, you know, it is what it is. Different times.
Hey, it was the best few years of my life almost. So I'll take it.
It was
the experience of life. You know, we're going on some wacky adventures.
I get nostalgic every time I pass through Plymouth or go in there.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm,
but never stay long, because like we go up there now, it's like we are
predators.
20 years older than like the people going into school.
Look, those creeps that were living in the non-trad apartments, the old guys.
We're senior citizens. True. In the world of college at this point, for like
just walk in, start teaching a class.
Yeah, like non-traditional student was like 24 and older.
Oh, really? I always thought they were like
old. They were not.
Like,
no, they weren't. They were not in their 30s. No,
I couldn't. Yeah, they were creeps though. I'll tell you that much.
I only knew one person ever in the time I was there that lived there, and he was kind of weird. Yeah.
Hey, we all were, right?
Yeah. I gotta talk about this, because it's like the heated thing in the area right now.
Dude, for real.
Bedford tolls is like getting absolutely like, and I know we're a little. This was now maybe
a couple weeks.
2 crashes in 1 week.
Yeah.
One was just like a blaze. And like, this is like, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, we've lived here our entire lives. I've been through those tolls 1,000 times.
Maybe,
you know, like,
maybe,
I don't know about millions. That's a lot, but yeah, I mean,
maybe not millions.
Like, I don't know how, because like the most recent one, right? Like, what didn't somebody go into the wrong?
Yeah,
like they were northbound, went to the southbound lane. Like, how does that even happen? Like,
this is what I think. You got people, and I've been against easy passes since speed limit for a reason. I agree. Right. I have always been anti easy pass. One, I'm not paying for something I'm not sure I'm going to use. Okay, and two, people, they're not checking their speed. They're not crashing when they're handing $1 bill to somebody.
No, right.
They're not crashing when they're doing that. And I know Easy Pass has been around for it's 19 years at this point. What, like, so I
feel like they're thinking it's that fast toll that's, like in Concord, right? Have you ever been through there where you got your regular tolls, and then there's that lane where you just fly right through it, I think. Right?
I've gone through the Easy Pass because I didn't know that when they first put it up, I didn't even know. Yeah. I mean, go to speed limit.
Stuff. Yeah.
I agree with removing it. I don't know how much revenue or whatever that brings into the state. I hate tolls.
It's got to be a decent amount. Like, I'm not against the tolls. They got to be there for a reason, I think, right? I mean, like, I want my roads to be smooth, and I want that money to come from somewhere, like once they finish this expansion on the Everett Turnpike, it's going to make everybody's lives a little bit easier, I think. But
I just don't get what is so urgent that you can't slow down to go through it. So I agree with Kevin saying he got a little heat because he laughed at it. He got some heat, but he didn't mean anything. Like, he doesn't want people to get hurt or anything
I
like
will
that.
say, the one, a few weeks back where the driver passed away, and the car burned. I actually so I work up in Manchester, and I had to go down to Nashua to pick the kid up from school, and I was stuck in that traffic sort of, after it happened, but it was still
Was
getting
that
cleaned up. And
was that the fire one?
yeah, the fire one, yeah, and there was
I agree we pay enough in this country, but it all depends on the state. Like, you have
right,
federal
yeah.
taxes, you have state taxes. You don't
And
have
I
a
think
sales tax.
right, we don't have a sales tax, we don't have I don't know. I
I
feel like
like
Megan,
that. I like what's being said here. What was Megan saying? Sorry.
like the difference between New Hampshire and Mass with like registering and paying. I don't know if you pay taxes. I don't know. It's all tax stuff, obviously.
I
But yeah,
mean,
no, I went through the tolls and I was stuck in this sort of traffic after the cleanup there, and I feel like the corpse was still on the road in a tarp, and it was a little scary. It was a little,
well, you see a car on fire,
right, yeah.
that's. So Megan says tolls cover state roads and come from the state budget. There's
Okay.
actually dispute in Merrimack over Continental Boulevard on who should maintain it, town or state. Interesting. There used to
Interesting.
be there was another Merrimack toll that just there was 50 cents that they got
Yeah,
rid of.
the exit, yeah, on
And
12,
it was
which is right
it
where we
was
live.
closed. It was closed after a certain time, so it was like, well,
I feel
why
like
are we
they
gonna
started
have?
shutting them all down with COVID. I think when COVID hit, that's when those mini
I remember
50,
that.
75-cent tolls started getting removed, at
I
least.
thought it was even pre-COVID.
Could have been. It could have been.
Yeah, as far as the Bedford toll, I don't know. I mean,
I will say,
I still think this
I
shouldn't
miss
happen.
when they had the bucket on the toll booths, and
Yeah, that
you
was
could,
the bomb.
you could dump in the quarters and dunk them, and I miss that. Like
I
that,
mean,
they made it fun for
simpler
me.
times.
Yeah,
But I think if you're using an Easy Pass, slow down. It's
absolutely.
still quicker than going to pay the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, if you're in a rush.
You're supposed to slow down because they got to scan it. Like I feel like you
Yeah.
run the risk of them not getting the scan if you go through
But
it too
it
fast.
is like going like what I never understood when people are in a rush, right?
Just
Is it
lounging
really
there.
worth your life? Is it worth your
Right.
life?
Yeah. No, of course not.
That's what I don't understand. Just be late.
Yeah.
At least you get to
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow.
Safety
Like,
first.
I think people think they're invincible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yeah. So
Justin
be safe
Timberlake,
out there. Stay safe out there
be safe,
on the
be
roads.
kind,
Yeah.
rewind,
Right. Yep.
move
Yep.
the
Yep.
toll
Safety
to
first.
I think that's a big point. Everybody's hitting
Right.
home.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Beloved singer Justin Timberlake. Now again, we're a little behind on.
My bad.
This
Yeah,
is
I had to play Dungeons and Dragons with my
Dungeons and
friends. I'm
Dragons
sorry.
is really tanking the show at this
Come
point.
on.
But Justin Timberlake, DWI, he's on tour right now.
Mm-hmm.
He can't get an Uber, or he doesn't have a
Yeah.
driver.
Like, what are we doing?
This
What are
guy's got
we
to have more
doing
money
there,
than
huh?
God.
Yeah.
That's what I don't.
That was, I mean, I will say that was another funny cultural sort of item for a couple of days. The whole, this is going to ruin the tour. What tour? The world tour. Like that was
It's a world tour.
the world tour. That
It's a
was
world
funny.
tour.
But good for that cop, like.
What was he? Did Justin Timberlake try to get out of it?
Yeah, well, yeah, but they were trying to, get him out of it and all that sort of stuff. But there
He
was all
is like,
sorts of comments about like this guy, this cop was like, he's a stickler for stuff because it was in, I don't know if it was
if
the
you're drunk,
Hamptons or wherever.
you should be
Absolutely,
charged.
do your job. Like, good for him for doing his job.
And we're not talking about Joe Schmo down the street. We're talking about Justin Timberlake,
Mm.
who probably has as much money as Michael Jackson had at this point. Could pay for a driver. Maybe Justin Timberlake's not going to get in an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
But come on.
Yeah, I mean,
he
give
doesn't have
one
an
of your boys
assistant.
the keys. I mean, come on, and like his entourage, he's got to have a bodyguard. You would think, right? Somebody.
He is a big freaking star. How has this happened?
Yeah, that was sad. And like, imagine if something that did happen. If he's driving and something.
Innocent until proven guilty. Okay.
Get at it. Okay.
I don't know if he took a breathalyzer or not. I don't,
yeah.
but The fact was the officer thought he was impaired, and it doesn't make sense for someone that's probably someone can look up his net worth. It just doesn't make sense to me.
He's got all the resources in the world to get home safe. Like
the wrestler Jimmy Uso has all these DWIs, and I think like he's got enough money to get home.
Yeah.
And it's a little they won't book me. I'm JT, and there you go. A little they won't.
But he's still doing his tour. He was just in Boston a couple of days ago.
Coworker of mine was at the show.
Megan saw a little bit. Yep.
No one's above the law except the president. Well, he's not the president.
He should be. I mean, I feel like Timberlake would be a decent president.
Well, no, she's referring to Trump. He's not the president right now.
Oh, yeah, he was though at some point. Yeah.
I'm just saying he's not now. That's all.
I feel like Justin Timberlake would be an okay president, but actually, no. That whole stuff with Britney Spears and the
Karen Reed. I have not followed the case.
Oh my God, I don't really understand the whole Karen Reed thing. And Megan, I know you're watching, and she's very invested in it. But
I don't know anything about it. I don't know what
Megan explained it to me, and I know what the deal is, but
Yes, and Karen Reed comment. I've been trying to get Scott to talk. Did she kill somebody? I'm assuming.
I don't know, her husband or something like that. Or
I've heard he was drinking wine coolers, lightwite. Yeah, I mean, either way,
he had some barbiturates in his system or something.
He shouldn't be getting hot.
I think than drunk.
I mean, let's just look at this photo here.
You got it? You got it pulled up?
I mean,
oh, dude, he's glazed over.
You know, I don't know. I just think that he's Justin Timberlake. He shouldn't be. I mean, there's no reason for him to even drive when he's sober.
No, you've got to have an entourage around him. You got to have somebody in that entourage that says, "Give me the keys."
Yeah,
I've never had a wine cooler in my life.
I'm not going to get into any of that at this moment. But,
good for you.
AI generated potentially. Okay, now we got conspiracy theories.
You got any favorite Justin Timberlake movies off the top of your head?
Alpha Dog.
Alpha Dog. Okay.
There's a TikTok. I did see that video.
Yeah.
And someone said whatever he's going, he might be going through something. Listen. Addiction can hit anybody.
I do partake in a sangria from time to time. I will say that.
Allegedly.
But yeah, Justin Timberlake movie, In Time. You ever see that one?
No,
where they're in
I'm not into like his movies.
He's not bad in Time, and then he was, good in Social Network too. That's a good movie.
Yes, I did see that. I did see that. But that was a long time ago at this point.
Him, yeah. But yeah, In Time, fun movie. Check it out if you haven't. Him and was it Mila Kunis?
No, Mila Kunis is like
Amanda Seyfried.
They did. Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake did a movie where they were friends and then they become lovers. But someone else did the exact same.
It was a ripoff of the Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman movie, I think.
Yes, which is weird because now
Ashton Kutcher's sort of
it's the same premise.
Yeah. All those Hollywood weirdos, you know.
I don't know how some movies get made.
In Time, I will say was more of an original type of movie.
Check out Alpha Dog though if you've never seen it.
Alpha Dog was good. Wasn't that like they killed a kid or something like that?
Whoa, spoiler!
Oh no!
Based on a true story, so you do know that going into the movie.
Sure. Yeah.
Trouble with the Curve is his best.
Was he in Trouble with the Curve? Yeah. Was he the one that had Trouble with the Curve, or
is I don't
know. Baseball movie, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it has what's his name in it. Very old actor. Using Gran Torino. Clint Eastwood. Wow.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, wasn't he like a scout or something like that? And then didn't he have a daughter who was also a scout?
I did watch that movie, but I was still in my alcoholism, and I don't remember watching that movie. So
there we go. Yeah, so
maybe I'll have to go back
in the first place.
I'll have to go back and check that out.
Amy Adams.
A lot of comments coming. The sequel is in trouble with the swerve DWI. He was the scout. Clint screwed over. Okay, I'll have to go back and watch that.
Okay.
A lot of people angry about this. I'm not, as the nepotism. Bronny James gets drafted to the Lakers, which I guess LeBron is trying to maybe restructure his deal or leave the Lakers. I don't know much about Bronny James's career, but from what I heard at USC, he was averaging about 5 points a game.
I got no info on that whatsoever. Pull that picture back up though, real quick for me, because he looks a lot like Le'Veon Bell right there, doesn't he? I feel like that's
I think when I clicked this picture, I was like, "Is that definitely him?"
yeah. Like if you show me that picture, I'd be like, oh, LeBron James and Le'Veon Bell are at the ESPYS together. That's fun. They must.
What do you think about this though? Draft aside, the Grizzlies are in the league. I'm older than LeBron James by 3 months.
I was gonna say they can't be by that much. Yeah.
And it freaks me out that he's got a kid now in the NBA.
Right. Yeah. As a father, that's amazing. Good for them. I hope they have fun. I'm not a basketball guy. Couldn't really give a crap less about it, but playing like that's like Rey Mysterio and Dom, being the tag team champs or something. That's got to be just fun for them. So I'm all for it.
Rey Mysterio beat Dom Mysterio again last night. Because now they're Dom Mysterio is probably one of the better heels in wrestling right now.
Dude, like sidebar, real quick, like Dom's gonna be one of the best, right? Like in a few, like if he continues on this track, like again, I'm not the wrestling expert in the room, but
I think so. I always said when he came in, he was so dry, and I said turn him heel. Yeah, and that's what they did.
What a fun storyline!
Looks like Mac's gonna have to get new jerseys for LeBron, but you could just put that on there. You have that capability. Hate LeBron, TBH.
Right?
What's TBH?
To be honest.
To be honest, okay. But as a dad, it is so cool. Good for him. Yeah,
LOL.
It makes me
laugh out loud.
Dom's heel heat is electric. Yes.
It's true. Yeah.
Dom is LeBron, Ray is Bronny. Oh, what?
Flip flop.
That's a gutsy call.
Who's Eddie Guerrero in that picture? Is it
Dom's dad? His real dad.
Do
you know that story?
Yeah, I know the ladder match for parental rights.
I gotta say though, like I think it's cool. I don't know how much time LeBron James really has left in the league.
Right. Yeah.
I think he's just gonna go till the wheels fall off. I don't even know what kind of year he had. But a lot of people just like he got drafted by the Lakers because his dad's LeBron James.
Oh, of course. I mean, yeah,
Is that gonna sell tickets? You think that people pay to want to see LeBron James?
Well, I feel like it's the Lakers. I mean, I don't think they have a problem selling tickets in the first place, but it's gonna sell jerseys. If they do, a James Senior and a James. Well, he's not James Jr. though, right? Is he LeBron James Jr. And
I don't
really know how that works. Yeah.
How the Lakers locker room deal with LeBron getting one of his teammates? Oh, geez.
Delonte West. Have you seen him lately?
He got better, and then I think it just went to no one has talked about the number one pick, only about Bronny James. Yeah. I mean, because it's interesting.
He's the Hawk Tua girl of the NBA
he's the Hawk Tua girl of the NBA. Bronny will be in the G League. Well, I mean, again, he was averaging 5 points. I'm not a basketball expert by any means, but I don't think that's like very impressive.
How about the Lakers hiring what's his face is the head coach there?
A former teammate LeBron there.
Well, I'm completely blanking on the name right now. Played for Duke, right? Come on, Bobby. I know you got it. Hit enter.
Will know. Oh, JJ Redick.
Yeah, JJ Redick, right? That was Duke, I think, right? Like somebody with no coaching. Thank you. Perfect. There we go. There it is. Nailed it.
Town, the NBA is so watered down. Let it be. Maybe the Celtics will keep winning.
Congrats, Celts, right? I mean, we didn't.
Oh, we didn't touch on that.
Yeah. The last show we had was before.
Tiny Pipes
game 4.
3-point like Pritchard, I'm sure. I suck at basketball. I was a wrestler.
You had a basketball shot, huh?
I think I could beat you in one-on-one.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't think I could beat Corey one-on-one.
Corey Walker, friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show. Corey. I don't think I would have been able to beat Bill.
Probably not. Last time I ever played basketball, it was the 4 of us at the gym in Plymouth. The hub there, whatever, and I rolled my ankle, sprained my ankle doing jumping up,
that.
And I said,
and then we never did it again. That was it. And then
I
you threw up after the hot dog eating contest, or was that separate weeks?
Yeah, it was probably separate weeks, but yeah. Way to bring up traumatizing memories.
That girl killed it. That girl killed it that day.
I was just so out of my element when the reigning champ sat down next to me, and it was a female, and
she just knew how to eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
It was, and you trained, you watched Varsity Blues
Dude,
every night.
we legitimately trained me on a hot dog
Yeah.
eating contest for like 2 or 3 weeks. I had it all timed. I had Outcast, Bombs Over Baghdad playing twice because it was roughly the time, of
I distinctly remember saying, "Don't go out the night before."
did we
And
go
you
out the
did.
night before?
You did. You
Oh,
did go
got
out
it.
the night before.
I blame Corey Walker, friend of the show, because he was my coach throughout the training process, and then he no-showed us. I feel like he went home that day or that weekend, and he wasn't there. And
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember thinking, I really thought you were going to win. I really did think you were going to win.
I feel like I got
Grizzly
third
Gobbler.
in the men's category. I could be wrong.
I'd be Jeff Hardy in that, I would say. Grizzly Gobbler, eh? What is it? Glizzly Gobbler.
Not sure what that means.
I don't know, but we need to learn more about. I agree. I know, basketball better than hockey, but I don't claim to be an expert really in any sport.
Yeah, I've got a
I'm not an
mediocre
expert.
knowledge of both of them. I could do football all day long, I feel like.
But I still don't consider myself an expert.
I don't think I'm an expert in anything, but if there's going to
No,
be
me
a
neither.
sport that I can specialize in, I would say it's football. But that's because I've been doing fantasy football for 2 decades. So
Sure. Like
but
I know the Patriots and like the big names. Somehow I do okay in fantasy football, and
the
I'm
fantasy
winning.
guys know everybody on every team because you sort of got to,
Yeah, which is just wild to me.
Mhm.
Grizzly slang term for hot dog shaped objects.
Mm.
Oh,
Like a corn dog. I went
corn
through a big
dog.
corn dog phase in my late teens.
But I gotta say, there was just a string of like Scott rolled his ankle, the hot dog eating. That was wild. The hot dog
Senior
eating
year
contest.
was rough, man. Senior year was rough.
That
We had
was
Scoot breaking in. I don't know if you remember, but I had that scar on my face from wrestling Scoot on the carpet. Remember when we used
yeah,
to do wrestling? We used to just
yeah. And then you
beat the
guys would ask
crap.
me, you guys would ask me to ref it, because I was actually a wrestler. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
You guys can do it.
It just ended up being me and Scoot just beating the crap out of each other and just grinding different body parts into that paper thin carpet of ours.
Nothing remotely was legal.
No.
What went
Yeah.
on in those?
Yeah. Messed my ankle up real bad too that
And then
day.
you had to pretty much fight Scoot.
He broke into the apartment. And the night
I
Scoot broke in. That was rough.
That was, and then me and Bill broke into his dorm, and then I
Set
went
off
out
the
the
fire
emergency.
alarm.
I set off the fire alarm, and I just ran to the Frost house and hid.
Corey wasn't there for that either. I feel like he was always the missing piece of the puzzle. Like things went
He might have
down
been the
when
voice
he
of reason. Like I
might have
remember
been.
Bill walked in and said, "I'm from the United States Army. Where is Peter
Right?
Sconces?" and the RA just said, "You guys need to leave, like
Go
now."
away. You're not with the US Army.
Yeah.
You clown. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Bronny James drafted.
Good for them. Father, son, I love it.
What do you got going on? 4th of July plans? Anything going
Yeah.
on? Big holiday
We
coming up?
since I've been with Megan, we've always gone to one of her friends her father's house is down in Mass somewhere. I don't know where. Saugus, I think, right sort of by Kowloon. Do like a pool party sort of deal. That's sort of the tradition with her and her group of friends for the 4th. So I believe we will be heading down there, pooling it up.
I've made a tradition that we do like a pickup softball game, and that when I
Okay.
look back at like my memories on Facebook, it's been going back longer than I've actually even remembered.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
You are
love
a Facebook memory guy. You love
yeah,
sharing a good memory
I
and
like to track my life. I like to know what happened and reminders, and
absolutely.
I think that's what Zuckerberg envisioned.
Yeah, the suck. I did tag you and you telling me I sucked
I don't
back
even
in
know.
2017, I think it might have
I,
been, or something like
I
that.
and I don't think we saw each other much in 2017, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. You
I
might have
don't
just been
remember.
really pent up rage and frustrated that you hadn't seen me in a couple of years and
I don't
put
know.
me in my place. Yeah.
I wish I could go backwards. So Kevin's working 7 a.m. to 3, so he's probably bummed about pickup because he usually comes to that.
3 p.m. is early enough to get out and still do something. Oh, thank you, Megan. I like that you put
Yeah,
the period
you can still go to a barbecue and eat a hot dog or burger.
there.
I love the 4th of July. I wish I took this week off, honestly, but I took last week off.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's nothing better than a good American
It's
holiday.
weird. It's a weird placement in the week. It's like, that Thursday, so a lot of places are closed on Friday, early releases on Wednesday, that sort of thing. And it's like Juneteenth a couple of weeks ago, where I think that was on like a Wednesday, and we were, I don't know if you had to work, but I was off on Juneteenth. That same thing, middle of the week. It's just a weird placement.
Yes, pickup starts at 10 a.m. because people want to go to their barbecues and we try to play, and then we'll probably we might still be at the field, Kevin. We might still be there. We're gonna get the grills going.
You never know.
I love the 4th of July. Probably my number 2, maybe my number 1 holiday.
I feel like you've said that before. Halloween and the 4th.
Halloween and 4th of July are my favorites, bar none.
Yep.
Christmas is in the top 5. What,
and
4th of July?
Yeah, I never got the fireworks. Like, even as a kid, teenager, whatever it was, it didn't really tickle my fancy.
The elections, yes. We declared our independence. They're having their election. No, July is my favorite month.
Oh.
And then October is probably my second favorite month.
Is there anything else in July that gets you all
I just
fired
love
up?
summer. I just love summer. And it's like the
Yeah.
heart of summer.
Yeah.
I love the summer. I live for the summer.
Good call.
I'm getting off. Have a good night. You too. Thank you, Kevin.
Appreciate
it. I'll talk to you soon. Could have a new government announced on Day America celebrates. Oh, they're interesting. Why we're having people arguing about golf in our debates.
Right. What is that for? Like the prime minister or something there, Bob? Is that
he probably
parliament? I don't know.
He's fascinated by all that. He loves the royal family.
Yeah.
And I mean offline.
He said he was getting off.
Oh, play on words.
Yeah, clever. I like this Kevin guy. What's up, man?
That's my vice president.
Clever,
right there.
clever.
That's my VP.
Oh, okay.
We're good. We're a good team together.
Spit on that thing.
So 4th of July is a good segue. So 4th of July. You are correct, sir. Like I said, he loves the royal family. Big fan. We don't know where Princess
my sniper.
Kate? Didn't she have cancer? We haven't heard anything.
Yeah. That's still sort of a mystery to us, right? Like, is she
really
alive? Are they doing the AI? And then a year later, they're gonna say that she passed away, but she's been dead for 2 years or something. Who knows?
I hope she is. She's young. She's like our age.
We're all young and old at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, we're young, old, kind of. She has talked. Okay.
Has she?
Really here we go. I watched an interview earlier that I thought was Scottie Pippen, and I was like, Pippen's really talking about his wife dating Michael Jordan's son. And then I go, wait a second.
Scottie Pippen AI? Yeah.
It
deep
was
fake.
AI.
Yeah.
The deep fake.
You can't trust anything on the web nowadays, huh?
I got to ask you this. With it being 4th of July.
Yes.
I'm a big wrestling fan. Your favorite American wrestling gimmick?
Give me some examples. Okay, you got Lex Luger there.
The Patriot, Hulk Hogan.
Was that when he had the luchador mask?
The Patriot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He very short stints in WCW and WWE, but I want to talk about this.
Oh.
Sergeant Slaughter, American gimmick.
Okay. Sure. Yep.
Did you know he didn't serve in the military?
I did not know that, but
I thought my whole life,
he
definitely the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Sure.
Who else? There's so many. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jack Swagger.
I did predict. I will say I called him winning that Money in the Bank years and years and years ago.
Oh, IRS.
IRS is clever. Jack Swagger, yeah. I guess Hacksaw, because he used to come up with the flag and the 2x4, right?
The American, he always had the flag.
I prefer Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon, who wasn't really a dragon.
No.
Much like Sergeant Slaughter was not a drill instructor, never had served in the military. I watched his biography the other night, and he was so good in that. I just assumed And I guess everyone backstage in the wrestling business, unless they knew, just assumed he did serve. Like he
Right,
really
yeah.
seems like he was a drill instructor.
Was Jake the Snake really a snake handler? Like, did he actually have snakes? He
I
did. I
think
mean, he
he
had that
did,
snake in
but
a
I don't know
bag.
if
Yeah.
he. I think it all.
Yeah.
But was Macho Man was really macho?
How about the American Badass Undertaker? Right? Wasn't that
Yes.
his?
Yes, I'll give you that. He's
Okay.
a big, flag waving guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stars and Stripes, the Patriot Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Why do I keep feeling like Sting had an American thing, or was that just
He
when he
came
was like
out one
rocker
time.
Sting?
No, he came out in red, white, and blue before.
Did he? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
It's always like an easy thing in wrestling to get the crowd chanting USA.
Sure. Right.
That
Yeah.
get the foreign heel, get the American, boo the foreign heel, chant USA.
Cena as the Marine Cena for a while, right?
Never served.
Right. Yep.
Much like Sergeant Slaughter.
It's like the Miz, who was also he played the Marine in the movies, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm trying to think there was any. It's such an easy formula though.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
It didn't work out for Lex Luger, but
That and like the Canadian guys, like the your Lance Storms and all that, right?
a lot of Canadians. My
Oh,
least
you
favorite
didn't like the
Undertaker,
American Badass.
which I learned is very. I did like the American Badass. I like to see Mark Calloway not just being the dead man.
Like it was a
It
good
is
way of getting
unpopular.
him giving him something else to do. I mean, how do you can't just be the Undertaker and then just be a regular guy. Oh, was Randy Orton in the Marine at some point? Yeah.
No, he actually deserted. No, he was in the actual military and didn't want to
Was
be.
he? Oh.
Yeah, he got put in jail for that.
Oh, military.
The Mountie, very anti-American. The Steiner brothers were all Americans from Michigan.
Okay. Yep. I always loved the Steiners in WCW, like before Scott Steiner got all,
He did a
big
movie
Papa
too.
Pump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Steiner brothers biography is really good. It's short too, so you don't have to spend a whole. You can bust that out real quick. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. But the Sergeant Slaughter thing, man, it really got me because I really believe that.
Your whole life, you thought he was a real sergeant, huh?
Well, he got in trouble because he was doing interviews where he wasn't supposed to be in kayfabe, saying that he did serve, and people were like, "Is this Bob Remus or is this Sergeant Slaughter?" Because then they checked his record. There is no military record of him because it was just a gimmick.
I never would have thought Sergeant Slaughter had a real name, Bob Remus, huh? I don't know.
Bob Remus, yeah, he's just a dude,
just a regular dude.
He's a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes,
Kel, right? Was that Kel?
Yeah, shout out to Kel there.
Shout out to Kel Mitchell. Wherever you're at. People thought he was dead for years. Remember that one?
Yeah, he did an interview where he was talking about that.
I'm alive.
I want to say one last wrestling thing.
Hit me.
So I'm hearing there he is, the crumb bum of
classic
the decade, Tony Khan.
Got a haircut.
Man, what a smug man. Their payroll, they're saying, is 104 million. That doesn't seem like too ridiculous to me because everybody's like, oh, they overspend. 104 million for wrestling superstar? Like, do you think that's a lot?
I really have no context in that. I mean, like,
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't. Compared to what's WWE? I guess.
I don't know. I've never thought about it, but I've seen on the internet everybody like, wow, I can't believe they're spending 104 mil, and I'm like, this doesn't seem.
Who's the highest paid AEW?
I think it's Mercedes, Sasha Banks.
Yeah. And
but
she has the creative control like Hollywood Hogan. I just saw it the other night.
Yeah,
right?
but I do think if they pay her more, then they have to pay John Moxley more. I've heard people saying that. I don't know. Yes, they're saying it's 104 million is the payroll per year. Their private company, the 104 million is made up. Yeah, it could be, but I also I saw people ripping into that, and I said, well, I have no context to say if that's a bad payroll or not.
No idea. Yeah, does that include the staff, the production people and all that sort of stuff?
I'd have to assume. I know they pay a lot of people per appearance as well. But like the rumors have been like MJF is getting 15 mil, Okada's getting paid 10 mil or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what's true, what's not, but it does seem like Tony Khan just opens the checkbook and doesn't really do anything with anybody. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Like how many more years is AEW going to be relevant? Like, is it dwindling down at this point, or is it going to be a long-term thing? Like, what's the deal?
I don't think it'll go anywhere. As long as they can stay on television, they'll be fine.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's just the key is like,
Yeah.
those are made up IWC, Internet Wrestling Community, for those watching at home.
I was gonna say, I have no idea. I was going to say International Wrestling Championship. Wow. Nice.
Yeah, I think that as long as they keep TV, they'll be around.
Sure.
He's saying, you know, Bobby brought this up that other networks would kill for AEW ratings, and I'm not even like a ratings expert.
No.
So Tony Khan might be right. Do they contract like WWE though? Pretty sure WWE contracts all their wrestlers are technically.
Yeah, they're like independent contractors. Don't they get like?
They are, but they are under. They're under contract with WWE. Like, you know, anytime you leave the company, you're on. You can't. You have no compete.
For what, like 60, 90 days, something like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, you know, and it sounds like Tony Khan's about to open his checkbook up for Ricochet now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you know Ricochet.
Oh, I know Ricochet. Yeah, the human highlight reel, right?
Yeah. So he left.
He can't do a thing on the microphone. Like every time that guy talked, it was just painful
to
watch.
You know, if you go back and watch Leo Connor's Ring and All Other Sports, he said to me, he goes, he's going to be the next Rock. He's going to be the next megastar. And I remember saying, like, I don't see that.
No.
I said, I mean, he can do the flips and stuff, and he's entertaining in the ring, but like
The
Rock is the Rock because the Rock was the Rock because of the microphone, not because Rock had like amazing matches.
Right.
And that's, I think, the problem that Ricochet would be. Yes, he did say that.
There it is.
I think Tony gets hooked on like we're gonna have the best matches, and that's great. But what really sells tickets and what sells ratings is what people can do to build those stories. The
storyline, yeah.
The match is the payoff of a good story. Sure. So you have to be able to talk.
Yeah.
You gotta have the gift of gab at some point. You have to have people on your roster that can talk.
Yeah. And I will say again, I'm not the biggest wrestling guy, but like the last, 6, 7, 8 months of WWE with the storylines and all that sort of stuff, like it's making me interested, like they know what they're doing.
It's pure cinema. Like Triple H in an interview, he said that, wrestling is a movie with a sports twist.
Right.
Something along those lines.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, that is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Vince was always going to with the sports entertainment, but
well, that's the thing. Like with it being a predetermined scripted match, like having a great match is entertaining, but you have to get people to want to watch that match. So you have to have a good story. You have to have a good, like when Roman Reigns
comes way of getting everybody involved too. Like the whole thing with Liv Morgan, like she's not even feuding with anybody right now, really. She's just feuding with the Judgment Day and Rhea Ripley, but she's not there. It's just a way of keeping those two connected while Rhea Ripley's out. Like it's very just clever. Like I appreciate the cleverness with it.
Well, I have this. You got to give it to Triple H. He's just a creative. And I'm not saying he's writing all this, but he's the head. Right. And he's just a juggernaut of that. And then you have people that, bitter people like Bret Hart doing interviews saying Triple H doesn't have a creative bone in his body. And I'm like, he goes, when I was there, I go, you were there in 97.
Dude, Bret Hart just needs to give it up, right?
His career, Triple H has done a lot since 1997.
Yeah.
To say that Triple H that's like just ignorant.
I feel like Bret Hart is just he's the Clint Eastwood Gran Turismo or Gran what was the movie called?
Torino.
Gran Torino, Get Off My Lawn. That's him in the wrestling community. He's just a crotchety old man.
He's bitter, and I get it. I would, but I've heard a lot of people say, like, Eric Bischoff did an interview where, he always blames Goldberg for the kick. I never knew this. Bret Hart wrestled 9 more matches after that.
Oh, did he? Oh.
So was it just the
and
kick?
They told he said because I watched the first I didn't realize there was a third episode of it of the
there's 4 episodes. Yeah,
there's 4. Oh, I only watched the first 2, but they were talking about Goldberg said, watch for the kick or whatever it is, like.
And Brett, a lot of people say, well, Brett was the veteran in the match. He would be the one calling the match.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But it's so crazy. Like, just real sidebar real quick on Goldberg. Because again, I've said it a couple of times. I was a WCW guy, right? Goldberg was everything to me for like a year of me watching wrestling. But I never realized how just bad of a wrestler he was and how he couldn't wrestle. But seeing it all now, years later, it's like, wow.
But he didn't need to do much. The whole point was he goes out and wins a match, in a minute. But as you get upper in the card, you can't really do a squash match for a main event.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They talked about in the documentary the time like Scott Hall was like, "What are you doing?" I never knew about that. I knew about Regal stuff and all that. Was before CTE was known. Head injuries were mishandled back then. I don't disagree. I just think that I get why Brett's bitter.
Yep.
His brother should never been up there. The Montreal Screwjob, I think, is Brett has a hand in what happened there, but Shawn Michaels was like brutal to him. And he didn't want to lose.
The thing, and they did that whole thing because he didn't want to relinquish the title before leaving the company, right? Like,
yeah, they were afraid that he would walk on to Nitro with the title.
Yeah, like
which I don't know.
Like that's the thing in wrestling. You got to put somebody over or something. You got to.
He had to leave that night, not the champion.
Yeah,
it's scripted, Brett. But
if you know the business so much, like you should have known that.
I've watched old interviews with Vince McMahon. He goes and he says the same thing. He goes, Brett fancies himself as a traditionalist in this business. Well, then he knows what you have to do, even if you don't like the guy. Even if the guy said he wouldn't do it for you.
Sure. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I also understand that Shawn Michaels was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Like
I've seen a lot of Shawn Michaels stuff lately, and how he was just
he was drugged up.
Yeah. Right.
He was. I don't know. He was definitely. Everybody says he was difficult. Then he left. He got clean. He was born again Christian. He was a totally different guy, and they obviously squash it. But I think Brett. I think he's bitter because he doesn't like the way his career ended.
Understandable, but
and all his friends are dead.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I mean, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Davy's gone.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Yeah.
Owen's gone. Yeah. Pillman's gone. I don't know how close. I guess he was still friendly with Pillman at the time.
Sad, I guess.
And many others, and I think that it just stinks because like that's how he's going to be remembered, is like he was like this bitter old man.
Yeah. Right.
And while Ric Flair be remembered as like he couldn't get a grip on. I mean, 75. Ric Flair's 75. I mean, he's Biden and Trump.
I would love to see a wrestling debate with Ric Flair and Hogan, maybe, or something. Or I don't know who would fill that Donald Trump role if Flair is. I
would say Hogan.
Yeah.
A lot of things Hogan says are like, that's no way that's true.
You can't say that now.
There's just no way it's true.
I'll bookmark that idea in the future.
But anyways, I don't think their payroll, if that is the number, is that much of a story. So is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's get into best week ever here.
Let's do it.
And again, we're basing this off of
best couple of weeks ever.
But who is having the best week?
I mean, we sort of teased it earlier. The automatic name that came to mind when I started thinking best week ever is our favorite internet girl, the Hawk Tuba girl. I mean, come on. How can we pick anybody else besides her? Granted, again, she's the fame is sort of it's slowing down a little bit. I've been seeing less memes and videos and all that sort of stuff, but again, she had the world in a chokehold for 2 weeks. So
she made $60,000 off that merchandise, I heard.
Oh, good for her. I mean, if you can use a 30-second interview, like imagine that, right? She wakes up that morning, and her friends are just going downtown to grab a couple of drinks or whatever it might have been, have dinner or whatever.
They're at a country show.
Okay, they're at a country show. Sure. They're walking down the street. Somebody walks up with a mic, and her life just effing changes in 30 seconds, like that. So good for her, and I hope she uses it for for the good of humanity, and she sets herself up for the future.
That's
Proud of
living
her.
in America, baby.
It
That's
really
the
is.
American
Yeah,
dream. Say
she
something
is.
crazy.
That is fantastic. She is a great example of the American dream.
My best week ever, I have to, and I'll bring it back to this. Bray Wyatt passed away last August.
Yeah.
It was very very sad in wrestling, circles, and
Yep. Right.
I even named my dog after him. But the Wyatt 6 has
Sick.
debuted.
Yep.
6.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, the videotapes that they had produced with the Uncle Howdy, Bo
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, Taylor
Mm-hmm.
Rotunda have been pure cinema. Like,
Right.
wow, like absolutely wow. I mean, he sounds a lot like his brother, but and not that you want to rip off of Bray, but like,
Mm-hmm.
man. And they went right for it. They said, are you capitalizing off your brother's legacy?
Yeah. Right.
Explains
Yeah.
that. I'm glad they did that right away.
Yep.
I'm wrestling fans are very fickle.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people saying this is going to fail. This is going to fail.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, and I said this on Facebook, if this was stock, I'd buy all of it.
Sure. Right.
Because
Yeah.
this is
Yep.
those two. It reminded me a lot, and it's a little bit different. But remember Mick Foley in '97? You were learning more about Mick Foley, Mankind. And he was doing those interviews with JR. It took me back to like that level good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I will say again, I watch wrestling from time to time, and it was very well done. It was teased for months and months and months, right? Like, and then the payoff finally happened, and I was watching live that night on Raw, I think it was, and it was your cinema right there. It was just, and then the couple of things that they've done since then with Jey Uso being so scared of him and taking off every time and picking on Gable. They're leading up to something, and it's clever.
It's crazy how they can make both shows so good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked how he said, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm nobody." He goes, "Yeah, that's right." And
exactly.
I was like,
right.
He's like,
but
"We
also,
made them remember."
Like you said, them just coming right out and saying it. Like, are you jealous of your brother or whatever it was? Like
or using his fame.
Yeah, they're putting it right out there. And then that first interview VHS tape of his was. Like, this was what we were doing. We were going to be on top of the world together or whatever, because he was always the Uncle Howdy, right?
Yeah, and that only went on for a very short period of time before Bray got sick. And then,
yeah, right. Yeah. It's just clever that they're putting it all out there, and they're bringing in these, these other wrestlers, what's her name there?
Nikki Cross.
Yep. And then Dexter Loomis is the bird face guy. They brought back
Rowan.
Yep. And then the other
Joe
guy,
Gacy.
I don't know anything about
Joe
that guy.
Gacy,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they explain why they joined, because these are all people that have been on. Like Eric Rowan makes sense.
Right. Yeah, he was in the.
I want to know why Nikki Cross has decided to join that. I want to know why Dexter Loomis decided to join that. Joe Gacy had never been on the main roster, but we know who Joe Gacy is. Most people.
Now, eventually, Alexa Bliss has to come back, right? Like, is she going to be
assume
in the background mastermind puppeteer behind everything, and that's their way of bringing her back in? And
she's got to be in it, I think, somehow. A lot of people say that the sixth person is the memory of Bray, which I'm not.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if I'm sold on that.
Sure.
That's Alexa Bliss made sense, but I like Nikki Cross, and Nikki Cross needed something. I mean, Vince still in charge was not good for Nikki Cross at any time.
I will say I didn't mind when she was that superhero character. Like, I feel like she got over a little bit with that for a while, didn't she?
Short run. That's all you could do.
Modern day Hurricane, Shane Helms,
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I don't know how they decided. Vince was doing a show with an audience of one. He was at the point where he's like, "You're gonna like what I tell you to like."
Yeah.
Where on the flip side, now the creative is like, let's see what the reaction is, and then we'll go with it. And
it's much more, natural and fluid and
I think Triple H will just do what he thinks is going to make the audience happy. I think that's like his only goal.
Yeah.
And I think Vince lost sight of that maybe, or he just got old, like Bill Belichick, like
just
time was up.
doing it for too long. Yeah. But I feel like it just makes sense. That's just Alexa Bliss's. I've always loved Alexa Bliss. I'm not a true wrestling diehard or whatever, but I feel like she killed it for a while.
Bowling for Soup made her a song.
Oh, did they?
So, yeah, you should look that up.
Yeah. And but if she comes in as like the secret behind the scenes mastermind in a couple of months or something like that, that just plops her right into their storyline.
I thought the worst thing they did was have her turn on Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30, whatever, and I was like, I wouldn't have gone there.
What was that turn there? I don't quite recall.
She cost him the match against Randy Orton when it's like, when does Bray get to win matches? Or
was it the Fireball or whatever? Didn't she shoot a fireball?
It was after the Fireball. I would say to anybody, if you do like watch the Bray Wyatt documentary.
Oh, yeah.
Because they tried to put him in that suit and they were like, yeah, this isn't going to work. How's he supposed to move? The fire suit. And then they had him come back as the Fiend, like reborn, and then he lost. And then it was like, well, what are we doing here? You already had him lose to Goldberg a year ago. A 55-year-old Goldberg, like
that weird John Cena like cinematic match.
That was fantastic.
Was that good?
In the Fire Funhouse match, that was that's when it's like they showed they knew cinema, like because the AJ Undertaker match was well. I will
say,
too.
I mean, when he came back, with the whole ding 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 music, and he came back and he was just real Bray Wyatt, and he was talking to the crowd like that. That was emotional, like that
was real.
That was real, But then like the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match with LA Knight or whatever, like that was sort of.
I hope they don't throw weird stuff like. I remember WrestleMania 33, they did this weird stuff with him and Randy Orton, and then he lost the match. And I remember Bray Wyatt giving an interview saying, like, wait till you see this match. It's going to be great. And it was terrible.
It was garbage, yeah.
And I felt like every time Bray kind of got momentum, they took it away.
Yeah.
Because I thought the Fiend character was like, that's a movie. Like, keep him, if you're going to, you booked Yokozuna very strong. Why couldn't Bray Wyatt's Fiend be very strong?
Right.
And why not? I that whole time I was like, this is like, make a movie with the Fiend because it's the most interesting thing ever.
Did the Fiend come back after being gone for a while in Boston, like right before COVID hit? Because I was at that show with Megan's brother-in-law, and two boys, and I feel like
he debuted at SummerSlam,
like right at the end of the show,
I think,
or something like that. I don't know. I just feel like it would have been like February of 2020. I don't know.
Yes, he did. No, he did. But he showed up to face Cena.
Yeah, because Cena was there. Yeah.
He had just lost to Goldberg, which fans were very upset. And he lost on a Saudi show, and it was like, really, the Fiend, this unstoppable character, is beat by a very like if it was Goldberg 1998.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
sense. The Fiend and the Demon Finn Balor ever have a match, or was that one of those things where they say that?
That's where he debuted. The Fiend was against Finn Balor.
Gotcha,
but he wasn't he was not the Demon in that match.
Gotcha.
It's very rare you get the Demon. I think that's another thing where it's like, why don't we get this very often? The Demon is so much more interesting than Finn Balor.
Yeah. I feel like they'll switch him back up at some point once the
I think
Judgment Day sort of runs.
Damian Priest at some point.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And was he the Demon against Edge, and was that a Hell in a Cell match there?
I don't think he ever did the Demon. I don't think he ever did the Demon with Edge. The last time I remember the Demon, and if Bobby's still watching, was WrestleMania 35. He beat Bobby Lashley. Again, I don't even think that match warranted the Demon. Or I don't know what warrants the Demon.
Oh, he used to have such a good entrance, man. He was like one of the best. That
if he doesn't get hurt in 2016, you never got to see what he could have done as
the first Universal champ, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah, and then the next night he had to forfeit it.
Yeah.
So, but let's get into our favorite segment of the show.
You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep.
Scott, who's your crumb bum?
The crumb bum of the last couple of weeks for me. It's not a specific individual. Again, crumb bum of the week. I like to get a little wacky with it, right? I've had deers and rabbits eating the grass outside as my crumb bum of the week. I've had bad waitresses. I've had traffic as the crumb bum of the week. The crumb bum of the week is something very personal to me, and it's really just been a really rough couple of weeks for me. It's my left knee. I've had this pain in my
Just a
left
little
knee.
breakdown.
Thank you. That's a very scientific. What is the front of the knee? Because I'll sort of point
Patella.
to where the patella is the front of the knee.
Yes.
Oh, so this is like a face-on shot. Yeah.
This
So
is
I'd
it.
say it might be my my lateral collateral ligament. It's sort of on the inside of my left knee, and like underneath and behind. It's just this weird pain that I've been having. Like it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt like 24/7. It doesn't hurt when I'm sitting. It doesn't really, that sort of stuff. But like it'll get stiff as I, stand up, and then I sort of loosen it up, and then it's okay. It's like this coming and going. I don't know. I don't know if it's arthritis.
It might go away. I always have certain
Maybe
issues with my knee.
it feels like the feeling when you have to crack a knuckle. So I crack all my knuckles. I crack my wrists. I crack my back, obviously, and I've cracked my ankles for a long time, and it feels like that sort of feeling. Like I got to crack my knee, but it's just really inconvenient for the last couple of weeks, and I want it to go away.
See a doctor.
Yeah, they're just gonna tell me to lose weight. Like it's probably just my
Well,
fat body finally catching up to me at some point.
I mean, I wear knee supports that I buy at the Dollar Tree to play softball, and it helps.
Yeah,
It's only $1,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, we got a comment here. I'm
Uh-oh.
thinking.
We got an orthopedic surgeon?
Wait, King George III.
This is not what I call my knee. That's not.
There must be some kind of reference behind that.
I think he's just saying that's his crumb bum of the week, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that person still alive?
Isn't that who the king of England is right now?
They don't have a king now.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
King George. Yeah.
that's who the king is. There's no king. It's Prince. I don't know.
Prince George is, or I don't know. But yeah, no, the prince is now the king because the queen
That's my
died.
crumb bum of the week.
Yeah,
King Charles. King Charles.
King Charles. All right, who's king? I don't know who
Charles
King George is.
in
Then
charge of
King George III is somebody that died in 1820.
Maybe it's like an anniversary.
Is
Oh,
that who?
wait, maybe
Did
King
he
George
lose the
III
Revolutionary War?
Yeah, that's
Ah,
right.
the 4th of July.
Well played. Checking
Crumb
out our
bum of the
history
week. 250 years ago, give or take.
That caught me off guard, and that was successful.
You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep.
My knee. I'll get to my. So that one went. Yes, it did. It did in the moment. It did in the moment.
The British monarchy.
I should know that, but I just didn't at that moment.
Thrown off.
My crumb bum is. I have two.
A double.
2 crumb bums.
Double crumb bums.
We're talking about King George, obviously here.
Britain is the crumb bum.
It's pretty hot. But he's pretty hot in Queen.
Megan's been watching all sorts of. She's been watching this Queen Charlotte show. She's watching Bridgerton. There was one night where she just kept calling me my lord. She got into all these weird random.
Oh God. To be a bug in the wall in that household. Dungeons and Dragons, British comedy.
Zoe running around.
Yeah. My crumb bum of the week is simple. These two old men, LLB. It's not the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of the world. It's not the end of America or anything like that. But like, you guys are clowns. Well, I'm not. I hate to say Biden. I think Biden is just too old.
He's just too old.
He's too old. I don't want to say. I mean, he's done things in the past that and then we're getting applause for that from Megan. Biden's too old. He should have. Someone should have said, "Hey, when he won in 2020, I just assumed he wouldn't run again."
Right. Yeah.
How are
Right.
those the best? That's
Valid questions.
that's the thing. It's like, obviously Trump has his base still, but they're not like they were 8 years ago.
No, they're a little bit less rabid now.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, like he's a pathological liar, and he's just this is bad. Like it's bad. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end
Right.
of the country or anything. But it's like for them to debate for the highest office in the land and to argue about who's a better golfer is like trolling on another level.
Yeah.
And maybe Biden doesn't know he's trolling. Like I could actually, that might actually be it.
Yeah.
And
He just looks so lost up there.
sorry, me and
He's
John
just up
has
there.
died on. Yes, they did. Oh, could they do their thing again? They didn't talk to each other 50 years. I'm voting for Tom Brady. I would vote for Messi, but he's not. Yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
how good of a president Tom would be. Like he would
but
cheat.
like,
He would deflate the economy. Oh, that was
I don't
clever.
know. It's not an easy job, not an easy position, but this is at the point where I look at like Biden and I don't know what's cognitive going on. And I think the people making fun of that, it's like, you're either going to die before you get to that age or one day you're going to be at that age, right?
Sure. Right. Yeah,
So
exactly.
to kind of mock that
Yeah.
to me is kind of like insensitive. You could,
Yeah.
but he is too old. He's too old.
But then there's other videos of him like a day later or so where he's very cognitive and he's like a different person almost. And then it's
But
like,
I think that's what happens at that stage. There's good
right.
days and
Yeah.
bad
Right.
days.
Yep.
But at
Yeah.
this point, it's like, and again, he's gonna have it. He has advisors. I don't think he's doing everything on his own.
Mm-hmm. But then
But
I'm assuming you saw the clip of his wife, congratulating him after the debate, saying you answered all the questions. Like that's not helping. Like you're talking to him like a 10-year-old, like a 9-year-old. And
yeah, like
it's
what?
just
Like what are we doing? Both of them should be enjoying their gold. And I'm not
yeah,
a fan of Donald Trump, but I mean, at the same time, I go, what are you doing? Like, you
yeah,
go live at Mar-a-Lago. Go
right,
do those
yeah,
things. Like,
yeah,
why weekend at Biden's?
clever,
Like, it's just kind of like, to me, they are well past the age to be. This is all ego based
yeah.
stuff. We
It's
are
just,
we are at the mercy of two giant egos.
but that's the other thing. It's not like I'm sure obviously, yeah, Trump said, yeah, I want to be president, but it's also like the Republican Party has the control over who their candidate's going to be. So it's
Well,
like
they're very afraid of him. They've always been afraid of him.
yeah, it's just I don't understand it, and it just I don't know. We have the
I
illusion of choice where it's these two people and that's it, and that's all you got. It's just the world we live in, and I hate it so much.
I do think like anybody that's like has their wits about them themselves is looking at this like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Edelman for president. Edelman and Gronk. That's the ticket I'd
But
vote for.
there's not a senator, there's not a governor, there's not a congressman, there's nobody that could contest
Hmm.
either one. I mean, I know Trump won his primary, so
Because it's the name. I mean, you're voting for the name and the brand. I mean, that's what it is now. It's the brand. It's Trump is the brand for the Republicans, and Biden and Kamala Harris are the brand for the Democrats. There's nobody else that's at that level, that tier that they can put in confidently to win is what it is,
yeah, it is a brand. It is a
Yeah.
brand. Joe Biden's been doing this for 60 years.
Right.
Trump
Yeah.
has been known to the American people since the 80s as a
Right.
celebrity.
Yeah.
And here we are. And I mean, again, I don't think it really even matters. And I
Hmm.
know someone's going to say, oh, it matters. It matters. It's like,
Right. Yeah. No. And,
does
and again,
it?
everybody can have their opinion on how the world works and all that. But hey, how lucky are we to be alive in this time right now? Like
Listen, I lived all through Tom Brady's 20-year career. Like,
big ups. Yep. 9/11. Tom Brady and the Pats.
Are we talking like good stuff? I mean, I want to talk good
I'm just
stuff.
talking crazy. Well,
Oh,
that wasn't good. I'm just saying.
yeah.
We lived through COVID.
What are you, the
We're
coach of the
living.
Bills? Yeah.
We're living through Trump and Biden, and 20 years down the line, we'll be able to tell our
But
whoever about this.
here's the honest to God truth, though, because people are like, this has never been this crazy. Like, guys, chill out. Look at American history. As much, it's always been here, Dan. Thank you. It's always been a rocky road. We're we're still a fairly new country when you really break it down.
Yeah, it's wild.
1776 was, and I know that we were on the land for a while, but like, when has anything ever been not a little bit over the top?
Yeah.
And now we're just seeing it on another
You
level.
need some crazy points in history to. I mean,
We
that's how
didn't
the
live in
history books are written. I mean,
we didn't live in the 60s where people were being assassinated. Civil rights movement took over there before. There's like a lot of things that were much crazier that have happened than Biden and Trump. But the
Bill
fact
Clinton,
is,
that was something that we lived through. That was an experience.
that's true, and it doesn't matter because the Supreme will retire.
Sure.
Trump
Yeah.
elected, and they will overturn more shit in women. I agree, and I think it could go back again. Like I don't know. I never thought that Roe versus Wade would ever get overturned.
Yeah, that's insane to me. Yeah.
Now, does it affect where we live? Probably not. It's those poor people in some of the some of the states that voted for him.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm out of answers when it comes to this because it's just
that sort of stuff shouldn't be decided by one or by how many people are on the Supreme Court, 9 or whatever it might be.
I think that's an issue, but and we haven't evolved it since we've established ourselves. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Like the country's not burning down no matter who wins. But like, it's just like, what are we doing? And
what are we doing?
I would just say, if he doesn't win, and you think about storming the Capitol, if Trump doesn't win, like, don't storm.
Don't do that again. Don't do that again. That's still
like,
that was insane. I remember watching that stuff live on TV for a day and a half. Like, what? That was absolutely.
That is when they talk about mob mentality. Like, that's exactly what they're talking about. One person has the idea, the next person says that sounds like a good idea, and so on. And there was definitely people there that are like, there are definitely people there that are like, I want to be here for Trump, but I don't want to take it to this level.
I'll just stand over here with a sign and not break into a government building and put my feet up on somebody's desk. Insane.
Use your First Amendment right, but you don't have to take it to that. Like, this is not there's no need to have an insurrection over this.
Yep, for real. Yep.
Over the host of the Apprentice.
Yep.
But anyways, that's my crumb bums. They're both, and again, I'll say this, like, Joe Biden, he's just older, but like, he should have said, like, I can't do this. And it does feel like both of them, it's just the way they were talking about that golfing thing. It's like, these are two guys
bickering old men, children. It's too funny.
But they come off as just two guys that just have had everything they've wanted in life.
Yeah, there's no consequences.
While there's people in the country that, you're trying to represent that have not had that, have not lived the American dream. And to get up there and do that is like,
insane.
Yeah, it turns it. Yeah, I mean, there's just been a lot of wild things, honestly, and it's just the way, like, world history. I mean, when you really break it down, I want to make one last point because I thought about this the other day and it kind of freaked me out. I was born 39 years after the atomic bomb was dropped. I'm now 39. When you put that in perspective,
not long ago, huh?
I was not born, and my parents were not born. They were born within less than a decade after that happened. So, I mean, there's been some really heinous, horrendous things that we think are so long ago. And
it's really not that long ago.
Slavery wasn't even 200 years ago.
It really wasn't. Crazy stuff, right?
when you start looking in the whole scheme of things, you start to go, is two old men even the worst thing that's ever
Right,
happened?
yeah.
You
It's
know,
a small sliver in the American history timeline. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
you know.
crazy. Did you
So
see Oppenheimer though? Is the question.
I will when I have 4 hours to sit down and watch
It
it.
was a doozy. I did not finish it. I tried watching it by myself, and I feel like I turned in at like 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah,
But
that's an investment.
yes,
That's longer than like some of these documentaries that they say you can
yeah,
finish in a
yeah.
weekend.
I will say again, I didn't watch the whole thing, but the pace of it, it was go 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 go. So I mean, like once you make the time investment, it's easy. It's an easy 5-hour watch or however long it is.
I will do it. There's a lot of things I need to watch. Winter's more my time to
Or
watch things.
hibernate and watch. Yeah, I agree.
Hibernate,
Yep,
chill with
yep.
Wyndham, and watch
Mm-hmm.
some movies. But
Yep.
any final thoughts, Scott?
No. Tuesday edition was a great success. Again, I apologize for D&D on Friday. And then we tried making it happen yesterday, but guess what? I had a different D&D online yesterday. So
Oh, I thought you were doing some with your kid. I was like, oh, okay.
no, it was the first time I'm playing online with a friend of mine from high school. It was brand new last night, so I
You
committed
want
to
to give a
that.
shout out to this person?
Shout out to Mike Doobie. He's definitely not watching, but
Oh, Mike Doobie.
you know
Knows me
Mike
well.
Doobie. Yeah, he was in my grade. He played
Was he a
football.
Penachuk kid?
I don't think so. No, he
No.
definitely wasn't. Yeah, but yeah, no, a friend from high school. We reconnected a few weeks back at Pat Cummings's wedding celebration.
I
Pat was one
remember
of my
him.
groomsmen. Yep,
I
yep,
remember.
yep.
Yeah, that's probably why I remember
Yeah,
him. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, and
Uh,
yeah, started playing D&D with him and his wife and their friends online last night. It was a great success. So that's why
Interesting
we're
world.
that's why we're on Tuesday and not Friday or Monday. And then
Well,
Saturday I had technical problems. So
Tuesday worked out. We had a lot of viewers tonight, so we appreciate that. Um, everybody have a really good 4th of July. Again, congratulations to the 2024 NBA champion Boston Celtics. Very crazy that they won number 18 because the Lakers tied that record 4 years ago, and I said it's gonna be a while. And 4 years later, the Celtics, who are now up for sale, which we didn't even discuss that,
crazy, yeah.
which is wild considering they just won the finals. But
Couple of bucks, yeah.
cash in while it's high.
Sell high, yeah.
Um, but yeah, we will be back a week from Friday. So enjoy the holiday, chant
Mhm.
USA, wave the flag, whatever you want to do. And we got one less comment. Happy 4th from Mac. We appreciate that. But
Right.
enjoy your 4th of July and continue to let freedom ring.
USA.